Hi guys, Dominator of the World here, doing a commentary video on Empire Total War. In this battle, I command the Swedish, and my opponent, Emperor Jocool, commands the U.S. For this battle, I split my army into 3 sections again. For my right wing, I have 2 riflemen and 3 line infantry, and they're gonna go all the way to the right to fight the U.S., the Americans. In my center, I have 4 solid units of line infantry, and basically my opponent copies that move and puts his line infantry there too, with no skirmisher support. For my left wing, I have the same as my right wing, which is 2 riflemen and 3 line infantry. So I'll let you guys do the math and figure it out. For my cav force, I have 2 dragoons, my general's bodyguard in the middle, and 2 heavy cav. Alright, so let's look at Emperor Jocool's army. Since he doesn't have them in specific sections, I'm just gonna read them out loud. He has 5 rangers, his general's bodyguard, 4 household cav, 6 line infantry, and 2 long riflemen. Alright, so you can see that the battle's already started, and this is a couple of seconds into the battle. This is a left flank. On the left flank, he's charged his cav into my cav in the little woods there. And I'm gonna maneuver my guys to do some flank charges on his household cav, which will eventually rout them, but it won't affect his other household cav he has there, because they're not exactly into the battle yet, even though it looks like it. But the outcome of the cav fight, even since I'm not gonna show you it, the outcome is that he wins, since he has the better cav, with a lot more upgrades. So here's this is still my left flank, except he's made a flanking move with 2 of his line infantry on top of a little plateau. And in response, I send one of my line infantry to the choke point of that plateau to start firing on his guys. So now we're going to the center of the battle, where my line infantry is duking it out with his line infantry, as you can see. It's actually really cool to watch all these volleys go around. And right there, we're basically evenly matched. It's just who has the better morale. And here he's doing a bit of flank firing with his rangers, since they got nothing else to do, since I didn't send any men over there. So here's my right flank, and in my right flank we've routed one of his rangers, and he's charged his other half of household cav into my line infantry, but I managed to get them into square, so his household cav is terminated. And since he can't get them out of combat, well, at least he can try, but it's really hard to do that without losing a lot of his men. So since he can't do that, his cav is just gonna get obliterated. So those rangers over there are really putting some pressure on my line infantry in the center. So I sent in both of my dragoons to take on his rangers. And the thing I like about dragoons is that they can fire while they're riding, like they just did right now. And their volleys seem to have a lot more of an effect than line infantry and skirmishers do. And I guess that's because the entire unit fires as one, which rains down more bullets. So anyways. But yeah, I've been using dragoons a lot lately for cav fights, because basically what I do is my fighting cav goes and charges them head on, and then I send my dragoons behind, shoot them from behind, and if that doesn't rout them, I charge them from behind. So dragoons are very handy in battles. So here, I'm still trying to plug in that choke point, since one of my units routed, but on my left flank, we've managed to rout almost all of his skirmisher units that he put in the little town there. Also, I should say that this is another game request made by RoyalAnarchist. And I'm not exactly gonna post his comment that he made specifically, but apparently he is very attracted to Sweden. So I decided to accept his game request, and I fought with the Swedish, even though I'm not very good at them. So anyways, everything's basically still going on as it was last time. He sent in another household cav to charge my square. Apparently they came back from routing or something like that. But they're gonna get killed again, since my guys were already in square. So, here's the square. So, while there's a cat fight going on, I'm going to show you the unaggressive square. Okay, so in the center, we're going back to the center, and his rangers came back from routing, and now he's sending them back to the battle. So he's firing on my dragoons, and I notice this whenever I go to the center during the actual battle, and I send them over to deal with the problem. And here on the left wing of my center, he's charged his general into my line infantry, and that's scrambled them. So I send in, accidentally, my rifleman to help the problem. And in the process, we managed to kill his general. So, that was good. Okay, so here in the choke point, since I've won against his skirmishers, I decided to put all of my left section into that choke point to fight them. And it doesn't look like they're firing on me anymore. But the thing is, one of his long riflemen came back from routing, and now they're firing on my guys again. And it looks like in the background, one of my guys came back from routing, but I didn't notice him during the battle. Alright, so his center is slowly crumbling away. As you can see, a lot of his guys are routing. It looks like he only has one line infantry left. But there's that other unit there. And they are long riflemen. So, this battle really annoyed me because there were a lot of his units, after they started routing, they came back almost immediately, and by the time they came back, my army was in a different section of the map, so he had to march his guys all the way to that section, and that took a lot of time from the battle. So the recording took a long time, longer than I would have liked. So now for the ending of the battle, most of the fighting will take place on the plateau here, and this is just an intro to the rest of the fighting, and I'm not going to show you the rest of the fighting since it took too long for all of his units to march there. But anyways, here below the plateau, he sent in his remaining household cav that won the cav fight to attack my line infantry, but I have another line infantry to back up that one line infantry, and before I charge them into his cav, I get them into square, so that when his cav starts charging, he'll be charging a ready square. And here, some of his units have gotten onto the plateau, but there's still a lot of them way back away. And there's still a lot of my troops that are far away too. So here's the ending of the plateau battle, and here I make a big bayonet charge against one of his line infantry from the front and the back. And the guys from the back are coming in a second, and that sandwich move that I made is going to cause him to rout basically immediately. And besides that unit, he has one more unit left, and they're rangers. But right after his line infantry, his last line infantry routes, those rangers just don't want to fight anymore, and they start to rout without me firing a shot. So here, his line infantry are routing, and I still have a ton of men. And you can see that his rangers are losing morale, and now they decide to run away. And so this is a victory for the Swedish, and you can hear the Swedish cheer their approval. They're happy about it, as I'm sure RoyalAnarchist is happy about it too. So, victory for the Swedish. I would like to say good game to my opponent, and even though my opponent spelled his name wrong, I don't judge him because I did that too. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video.